and on antisocial behaviour.
Third oral question, Baroness Jones of Millscombe.
I beg leave to ask the question standing in my name on the order paper.
My Lords, the Climate Change Committee, CCC, is the independent advisor to the Government on climate change commitments, including aviation. The Government is committed to routinely engaging the CCC as part of the Airport's National Policy Statement review on how expansion can be made consistent with our net zero framework. We continue to work closely with the aviation sector on decarbonisation and growing the economy, including through the Jet Zero Task Force.
My Lords, the aviation industry will never be environmentally sustainable, and I really think this government ought to understand that. And at the moment, what's happening is the 15% of people who take 70% of the flights are actually protected from paying fuel duty, whereas train travellers aren't, and potentially EV drivers as well. So why not tax frequent flyers, make train fares cheaper, and leave EV drivers alone?
So this government is making huge efforts to make the aviation industry more sustainable. There's a bill before the House on the sustainable aviation fuel policy. It's also pursuing airspace modernisation and providing up to $2.3 billion over 10 years to extend the Aerospace Technology Institute programme, supporting the development of next-generation sustainable technologies. The distance band structure of air passenger duty already ensures that those who fly furthest and have the greatest impact on emissions incur the greatest duty, and similarly, given that air passenger duty is charged on all UK departing flights, those who fly most often pay more.
My Lord. Rather than discourage air travel, surely the aim of the government should be to encourage sustainable aviation. Could my noble friend say a little more about what progress we're making in the targets on sustainable aviation fuel at the moment?
I thank my noble friend for his question. The sustainable aviation fuel mandate, which is already in force, seeks to reduce aviation emissions by up to 2.7 of a unit that I can't possibly either describe or the unit is MTCO2E, if anybody knows what that is. I'm sure somebody does. And 6.3 in 2040. There's a lot of work going on, and the House will shortly be debating the Sustainable Aviation Fuel Bill, which seeks to make it possible for increasing manufacturers' sustainable aviation fuel, together with the investment I already talked about with the Aerospace Technology Institute programme, all of which contribute to a future sustainable aviation industry.
The noble Lord makes a point about investment in the sustainable aviation.
If the Lib Dem bench is next.
My Lords, what specific work is the government undertaking to understand not only the emissions from aircraft, but the emissions from surface access and freight traffic associated with airport expansion? And how can the government meet net zero commitments while supporting airport expansion at Gatwick and Heathrow?
So, previous questions in this House dealt with the construction of the third runway in carbon terms. Of course, the government expects those two schemes, which are being taken forward, to seek to demonstrate how carbon reduction applies to not only the construction of the runway itself, but also the freight traffic and the surface transport implications of the third runway, and of course they'll be taken into account. I don't think it's at all sorry, I'm stumbling on my words. There's no reason why expansion of Gatwick, and for that matter Stansted and Luton, is incompatible with Heathrow. Heathrow is the UK's only hub airport and deserves to be of a size which can increase economic growth for the whole of the country.
The government.
Taking that question from the noble Baroness, could I help noble Lord the Minister? The current airport's national policy statement says that it expects Heathrow to have landside airport-related traffic no greater than today being 2018 when the document was published. Can he state, because I think this would help the noble Baroness Lady Pigeon, can he state that the same requirement will appear in the new airport national policy statement that is going to appear next year, which will be the basis for Heathrow expansion?
Well, of course, the noble lord will recognise that things that things should have moved on from 2018, but haven't. So this government is determined for the first time to actually move on the expansion of the UK's only hub airport. The statements which were made in the Airport National Policy Statement in 2018 will be reviewed in the light of the two proposals that the government is currently pursuing. And we'll choose one of them before the end of November, and the necessary alterations to the draft new Airport National Policy Statement will be available next summer.
My Lords, it's the turn of the crossbenchers.
My Lords, could the Minister answer a question that is very puzzling to me? When we proposed airport expansion, it was about increasing business traffic into this country. Since COVID, that has simply not been the case. Business is done so much online. So in fact, what we're benefiting is tourism. And a recent report from the New Economics Foundation finds that in fact that means we're exporting £43 billion abroad, and this is a deficit. So what is the logic, given that we're all encouraged to do things online, of vastly expanding our airports right now?
The Heathrow is as congested now as it was before COVID, and will remain congested unless there's more capacity given to it. The previous questions on this subject and a short debate we had a few days ago suggested that, rightly, that not only is human traffic important, but also goods and services, though we had a debate about whether it was books or salmon that was the most valuable or frequent commodity to be transported. The point is this: the airport is full, it remains full, and actually for the benefit of the British economy, we need to expand it in order to get more flights and build the economy in this country.
My Lords, I share the concerns expressed about the environmental disbenefits from the third runway at Heathrow Airport, whilst understanding the potential economic benefits. I have spent time as the Bishop of London with the Reverend Richard Young from St Mary's Church, Harmondsworth, along with residents whose homes and communities lie within the proposed demolition zone of the third runway. They have faced uncertainty for decades, and under the potential proposals, they will continue to face uncertainty for years to come. I wonder whether the noble Lord the Minister could say what the government is doing to allay their fears and uncertainty faced by these communities, and to ensure that Heathrow Airport itself provides the appropriate support to them.
I thank the Right Reverend Prelate for her question. I think the best thing the government can do is to actually move forward on this for the first time. The debate about the third runway has been going on for years and years and years. The airport is as congested as it ever was, as I said, and those residents that she refers to in Harmondsworth and Sipson and other villages that have no satisfaction about the future, because the future's been uncertain for a long time. I think the best thing we can do is to get on with this and make a decision, and of course we would expect whoever the promoter is to actively work to look after those communities affected by the third runway development.
My Lords, can I congratulate the Minister on moving on with proposals that originally came in the 2003 White Paper, which as Minister for Transport I had some hand in. But can I also point out to him that it's not only beneficial to the economy as a whole, our very successful aviation industry, but also very much to local communities around our main airports, providing well-paid unionised jobs. Will he get on with it?
Yeah.
Well, what can I say to my noble friend who not only asks this question but gives all the answers as well? So I think that will do.
My Lords,
The government is absolutely right to be pressing ahead with the expansion of Heathrow Airport. It's long overdue, and the Sustainable Aviation Bill, I hope, will answer some of the questions about the environmental impacts. But I am concerned about the debate between a short runway and a long runway. Whatever the outcome in the medium term, can I seek the assurance of the Minister that we will still go ahead with at least the DCO for the full plan? Because if we don't, we're going to end up shortchanging ourselves again. In the end, Heathrow needs to expand. It needs to expand properly. Please ensure that's what happens.
I thank the noble lord for that. I think that that's a premature request because he will know, and maybe the rest of the House does as well, that the two schemes being taken forward at the moment are different, and the length of the runway proposed is different. And I think that a decision such as the one that he suggests ought to be taken as we go forward with one of the two schemes.
Fourth oral